basically the point here with both the rating system is they try to address the energy efficiency, sustainability issues in the building. And if we are looking at the new and existing buildings, then what are the measures, urban measures, which Professor Sitaram has addressed, that how transportation and urban planning are very important for addressing the energy and environmental issues. Then coming down to the building level, that is structural measure, that what kind of insulation and the orientation which Mr. Anand has, and the technical measures, that is electric consumption, and which our survey also tried to show the technological. So the last point, that is user behavior. This is something which our survey has also come up with the interesting results, and this is something where we have to work a lot, because we can see that as far as technological advancements is concerned, Germany is having photovoltaic technology, solar energy, and if this dissemination of technology happen, then this will be available. But is this going to only address our problem? No, not really. It is the user finally who is going to, because there was an article I read, Catherine Janda from Oxford University, she has mentioned, buildings do not use energy, it is people who use energy. And that is where it is very important to address the user behavior, how aware the user is, and where do we start? Should we catch hold of the people on the street and start telling him? It does not, because when we talk about energy consumption, only person who is paying the electric bill, to him only it pinches if light is running extra hours. The other persons of the family, it does not matter to them. But how do we make these people aware? And as one of our young audience has mentioned, it is educating the child right from his inception, that you have to orient him. Why do we do not have that mindset here? Why we are just liberal from the initial stages? And that is what, there are various modes when we can make the awareness about the people. One is by demonstration, using signs, putting posters, etc. Please switch off the lights and fan when you leave. Then experience, like if I am paying and if I am using something and I find that by just opening a window it helps me to feel comfortable rather than putting on fan or switching on air conditioning. Then involvement, that is you get involved in the design or in the living of the wherever space you are, so that has a more impact than the other two. And that's what we felt that because in architecture department we thought we will work upon with the students, because those students are working on designing of the building. So why not give them a project which is school design, because school is something where the kids start learning, all his mindsets get ready. So there was, incidentally, in 2011, Indian Green Building Council, they had a competition that was meant for architecture students, and it was design of a sustainable green school. So what we did, we had a group of students from Dartmouth University, and we had a group of students from DCR University, Murthal. So we gave a same site to them and same school project. These students who were working in Germany, they had not visited, but they were visiting after they had designed. So we were just passing on all the information related to the site and the context through email. The technology helped us in that way. So for the same design, same site, there were two sets of design. One was from European way of designing, and one was from Indian. So something interesting came up, and the philosophy behind our this design idea was that a school is building which has 4 walls and it has future inside. So how it was very interesting project, in the sense it was the students' design for the primary education of the upcoming population of our country. So this was something which they had, that they had to design a green environment, energy efficient environment, and a educative environment where people can be educated about it. So this was something where this is the development of the child which happens in the school environment. that is his physical, mental, whatever, cognitive knowledge, social development, etc., emotional development, everything happens. So we took up this project for, in our campus, we have a sprawling campus of 273 acres, and we had identified a site on our campus, and this falls in the climatic zone of composite climatic zone of India. Composite means those who are not aware about the 5 climatic zones India has. India has hot, dry climatic zone, which is towards the western part of the country, warm, humid climate, which is mostly in the coastal areas, in the peninsular area. Temperate climate, there is only Bangalore. People who are living there are fortunate. Cold climate on the top of the country. Composite climate is the major part of the central heart of the country. Composite means that we have seasonal variation of these various characteristics. So our project had fallen into the composite climate. We had severe cold winter also and hot summers also. So the site was on our, the location of our place is Sonipat, which is very close to Delhi, and almost just 45-kilometer drive from Delhi. And this is on our campus. It's a big campus. So we identified a site here. These are all hostels for the students, girls and boys hostel, and this is the university part of it. So we just choose this site, and the climate of this place is that you have summer months, 3 to 4 summer months, and you can see there it's very cold winter. The middle band is showing the comfort zone. So you can see how the, so it was something which was European students were also familiar, the cold climatic characteristic, how to design for the cold climate, and our students were very familiar about designing for the summer climate. So it was a good fusion from the two parts of the world. So this was something, the design methodology we adopted, that we wanted to design a climate responsive building, and what were our objectives, and what are the performance parameters, that internal temperatures and all those things, shading efficiency and all. And then design decisions the students have to make is the orientation, form of the building, surface area, what kind of material they are using. The actual problem lies in tracing how our design decision affect the performance. So this was something which the students had to explore through their design. So these were third year students from our institute, and there was a mixed group from Detmold University. So they had taken up these design elements. What are the site issues, daylighting issues in the building, energy efficient shell, that is designing for insulation, what are the lighting, electrical system, mechanical and ventilation system, renewable energy system, water conservation, recycling system, waste management, transportation and resource efficient. And mind this, our campus of our university is, we are trying, our every endeavor is to make it a green campus so people can practice sustainable way of living. And there have been some stringent measures which are taken, which were having some kind of apprehension in the initial stages. We have banned the students to bring their vehicle in the campus. So no student can bring their, whether it's two-wheeler or four-wheeler, they cannot bring. So completely it is pollution free, because the student population is the major population in the campus. There are more than 3,500 students in the campus, so we don't allow them to bring their vehicles inside the campus. So that is something which is practiced, and these students also, they were designing, they had to address this transportation issues. And the approach which we found, the Indian students, because we have been talking about all these issues, they had looked from the traditional point of view, that is ecological sustainability. Many of them came up with the concept of Gurukul, where a student used to live and learn also. And he used to do all the chores of his Gurukul. There was no such aid. They were living by themselves under the tutelage of their guru. So some of the students have mentioned about this Panchabhuta, that how these are important issues for energy efficient or sustainable design. So their approach revolved around this. The European students, their approach was more toward technological sustainability, because looking at their background, the photovoltaic technology and wind energy and all those things, geothermal energy. So their approach was using all those technological advancement. And these were some of the solutions, or you can say propositions, which came by the students. So this was the student who thought about the Gurukul, that how we had this tradition of living with the nature and living in a very sustainable way, that you do your things and in a very efficient way you do it in a sustainable way. So she had designed the whole school on that theme, and adopting, definitely it was more with the new technological advancement. It was not to just tradition. Tradition was reinterpreted in the modern way in her design. Then this was another proposition, and see the analysis they had been doing, that how the sun movement in how the building should be designed, the part of the building which are used during daytime should be oriented with respect to the sun. And then they had also thought of small issues like how you have shaded pathways, landscape courtyard, then semi-paved pathways using the waste material and all. Some of these ideas Mr. Anand had already explained. And then looking at the sustainability design and using the groundwater storage system and all, roof gardens, and then various other issues, that is using the photovoltaic technology and geothermal energy. And this was one of the theme, that materials, waste, water and renewable energy, how we can use this in the building. And this was the approach which was students from Dartmouth University, they came up. And they had also thought of that how the building shall perform for the winter and summer. Because as I told you that the performance requirement for winter and summer are different. In winter, we want the solar energy to be harnessed inside the building. So she has worked out that we want the sun to be inside during the winter. In summer, we want to have shading. So why not use the vegetation which shed the tree during the winter and make the it's more responsive to the different seasons requirement. And then this were again the layout issues, that how you group the buildings and create these kind of social spaces in the school. Some of them had also worked on the geothermal energy for cooling and heating. So these were all technological innovations. Then green shading screen, as Mr. Anand also explained, that why not have the green walls or green shading. So this was one of the proposition. And then designing the facade, because most of the energy or you can say heating in the tropical climate will happen through the glass wall. So how do we orient them? How do we shade them? So some of them came up that why not tilt the building facade so that you have self-shading of the buildings. So this was something which was initiated as part of our project, and taking the cue from here, we have now looking at that how we can integrate sustainability in our undergraduate education, and we are working on postgraduate education also on sustainable architecture. We have started 3 courses. One course is on urban and rural planning, and what Professor Sitaram has explained, that urban and rural planning are very important issues, how the cities will grow, how would you design the future cities. So that is one course specialization we started. Then another course we started on Master of Architecture, Sustainable Architecture Design. So there we are teaching about the sustainability issues and all related with the built environment. The third course we introduced was Master of Construction and Real Estate Management, and I think with this we will be able to take further this collaboration and working with closely with the university. Now we are having students exchange and faculty exchange also with the German university as well as US and Korean university. So I think this is something which has to be addressed globally, and future collaboration on this would be very important to address these issues, and especially educating the user, because they are important for addressing sustainability issue. Thank you very much.